As COVID-19 vaccine doses dwindle in Arizona, President Biden takes a virtual tour of the State Farm Stadium vaccination site.
Plus, rallying for minimum wage, the impact raising the pay for tipped workers could have on our state.
And later this half hour on Break It Down, the history of activism in sports.
Cronkite News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News on Arizona PBS. I'm Nick Shesky.
And I'm Brianna Alexander. Thank you for joining us.
Arizona wants to ramp up vaccination efforts, but more doses are needed to get that done. And today, President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris took a virtual tour of the vaccine distribution center at State Farm Stadium. Madden Johnstone Thomas joins us now with what the president had to say.
Just yesterday, FEMA awarded $20 million to the state of Arizona to support the COVID-19 response, including vaccination operations. Senators Kyrsten Sinema and Mark Kelly, as well as Congressman Greg Stanton, have sent letters to the Biden administration asking for additional doses, something that the president somewhat addressed today.
That we have enough, we'll have enough of the vaccine in the pipeline to be able to provide shots for over, including double shots for over 300 million people before we get through the summer. If we need more vaccinators, we'll send them. We'll find them for you.
The president and the vice president were able to see the vaccination tents as well as talk with FEMA and one of the National Guard leaders. They learned the process for those coming to get their vaccines. President Biden said the distribution center can be a model for others.
We committed when we got in. We were short on vaccines and short on organization, and when we got sworn in, and we committed to do 100 million vaccinations in the first 100 days, and we're exceeding that. With the grace of God, the goodwill of neighbors, and help of people like you, we're going to end up doing more than that. So thank you for what you're doing. You're saving people's lives.
The president also said he got a call from the NFL commissioner during the Super Bowl last night, offering all football stadiums to be used as vaccination centers. In the broadcast center, Madden Johnstone Thomas, Cronkite News.
Many children are still learning from home due to the pandemic. But what about children within the foster care system who may not have the same access to technology? Cronkite News reporter Sedona Meadows takes a deeper look into what education looks like for them.
Yesterday, some kids were at live school. Some kids were studying at home with the help of group home staff. But, you know, it's not good.
Chris Jacober, the executive director of Arizona Friends of Foster Children Foundation, recently visited a group home. She says children in the system are falling behind without the same access to computers and internet, and less attention from caregivers when they are taking classes from home. They're working to change that.
We paid for internet service for kids in foster care and technology if their school wasn't helping them, and desks. We're just trying to get the experiences of kids in foster care so that they can be like every other kid.
Since July, per Arizona Department of Child Safety guidelines, children within the foster care system are encouraged to attend in-person schooling. Tori Taj, the CEO of Child Crisis Arizona, says their shelters and group home have children attending different schools, both in-person and online. But with more children out of the home, there is a risk.
If one child in the shelters or in the group home get COVID and they test positive, then they're all home. And so they are doing a combination. It's up, it's down, it's all across the board.
But Taj says there is another concern that is being compounded due to the pandemic.
So some of the things that we take for granted when children go to school is that socialization aspect and all of the sports and all of those extracurricular activities. Typically, children in foster care participate less in those things anyway.
CCA provides early education and supplies for families who fall below the poverty level. And since the pandemic, AFFCF increased funding for tutoring children. Jacober says organizations and homes across the state are working to provide children a quality education, and describes her hope for every child in foster care.
That they have advocates who will take the time to figure out what they need to advance their education. And then the advocates have resources to get them what they need.
In Phoenix, Sedona Meadows, Cronkite News.
Prior to the pandemic, the high school graduation rate for students in foster care was 33%. It's unclear if that rate will decrease after this year.
A new bill, introduced by both Republicans and Democrats on Friday, would allow thousands more Arizonans to collect unemployment. If passed, HB 2805 would raise taxes on employers to increase the maximum unemployment benefit to $300 a week. That would allow people who have been laid off to earn $160 a week. And with a part-time job as well, they could earn up to $460 a week while still seeking a full-time job.
The federal minimum wage has been $7.25 since 2019. However, President Biden is looking to change that with a new COVID relief package. Cronkite News reporter Caitlin Kinahan follows the One Fair Wage advocacy group as they call for Arizona's senators to sign onto the legislation.
Everybody to arrange themselves so they are safely social distanced.
In 2016, Arizona's minimum wage was $8.05 an hour.
To afford to live, I lived in like a 3-bedroom house with like 7 people.
I have worked in the service industry for all my life.
In 2017, it went to $10.
Rent keeps going up and landlords continue to hike up rent.
And in 2020, it lifted to $12.
It's an improvement, but it's still only a step in the right direction. It's not like you got where you should be.
Now it's under my feet.
But some want it even higher. The new Raise the Wage Act, included in President Biden's $1.9 trillion COVID relief package, seeks to raise the minimum wage to $15. That's a $3 increase here in Arizona.
This $3 seems insignificant to so many, but is so important to small business owners, to people who are working on the front lines, to people who are serving their food and bussing their tables.
To keep food in their belly, to pay.
It's awful to hear how every place will call them heroes and then pay them so much less.
The rally took place at Democratic Senator Kyrsten Sinema's office off of Camelback Road. Attendees called for her to sign on to the act.
We're here basically demanding that Kyrsten Sinema raise the sub-minimum wage.
If it passes, this means that all minimum wages will be raised to $15 across the country, including tipped workers.
If you are for the working class, you'll do whatever you can to make
that extra $3, that would make it worth going to work during a pandemic and risking your life.
In Phoenix, Caitlin Kinahan, Cronkite News.
Arizona is one of 11 states to have a minimum wage higher than $12. States like Indiana, Iowa, and Pennsylvania still hold a minimum wage of $7.25. In an interview that aired after the Super Bowl, the president admitted that he doesn't think the Senate will pass the wage hike.
Right now, SRP is offering customers 2 free shade trees to help save energy and conserve water. It's all a part of the company's Shade Tree program, which helps reduce cooling costs, improve air quality, and lower the valley's heat effect without using a lot of water. To get your 2 free trees, all you have to do is attend an online webinar that offers tips on how to plant them and care for them. The webinars take place February 13th and the 24th, as well as March 6th. Only current SRP customers are eligible to participate in the program, and you must have the legal right to plant trees on your property. For more information, go to srp.gov.
We might need some of those trees for the sunny skies across the valley. As you can see from our downtown Phoenix studios, very nice weather we're having as temperatures begin to rise just a bit. Here's Tina Giuliano with what the rest of your day and the week will look like. Tina?
Yes, thank you, Brianna. We have beautiful clear skies today and beautiful temperatures, but they will not be clear skies for long. We are going to see some clouds kind of roll in here the next couple of days, kind of sweep through our state here. And we are not alone. Kind of looking at the big picture here, there are clouds kind of sweeping through the whole Southwest throughout the next couple of days. But our low temperatures throughout the state are going to stay pretty consistent, okay? We are going to have about 26 degrees in Flagstaff as our low, 26 over in the Grand Canyon as our low as well. So really gotta bundle up if you're heading up there to see some snow. But if you're staying in the valley, it'll be about 53 degrees over in Phoenix. And even in Tucson, about 48 degrees. So nothing we can't handle, but definitely keep your jackets nearby. Breaking down our evening here, it's just gonna dip down 60 degrees by 10 p.m., but clear skies throughout the rest of the day. Beautiful temperatures, but those clear skies will not last clear for long because we're gonna see some clouds coming here on Tuesday and Wednesday. They'll leave on Thursday, but they will be back kind of coming through our weekend. Even on Sunday, we're gonna have a 50% chance of rain, and even starting our work week with a little percent chance of rain here. But we got to enjoy these beautiful cloudy temperatures and these clouds while it lasts before we really got to load up on this sunscreen. So in the Weather Center, Tina Giuliano, Cronkite News.
Hi, I'm Kelsey Calasi. After the break, I'll have your Cronkite Sports Report, where we will pay homage to a legendary figure in sports broadcasting, Pedro Gomez. Don't go away.
This month in Passport, your on-demand library of the best of PBS.
Everyone has secrets. Are you protecting someone?
I have no choice.
You do have a choice. You're looking at him.
That's amazing. We could be standing on top of a T-Rex right now.
Women demanded new space and pushed the boundaries of what being a lady means.
These and other shows are available with Passport. Become a member of this PBS station. Sign in and start streaming today.
Here we go. Lights up. Whoa.
As artists, we conduct our educations in public. You can never know whether it's going to be a success. One just has to risk it.
It's you and the work and the place. It's a very particular relationship.
Here's our lens. Tell us what you think.
Friday night at 9 on Arizona PBS.
Welcome back. I'm Kelsey Calasi with your Cronkite Sports Report. Multiple champions were crowned this weekend around the country. In Tampa, the Buccaneers won the Super Bowl, led by former Cardinals head coach Bruce Arians. And here in the Valley, Brooks Koepka took home his second Waste Management Phoenix Open trophy after an eagle on hole 17, winning the tournament by one stroke. Koepka credited the fans with his renewed energy.
But it's nice to have fans back, and I do feel like I'm back. I felt like I've been back. It's been in some dark places for about a year and a half, so it's nice to finally come and see some results.
Many high school athletes spend 4 years trying to make a name for themselves, but the coronavirus has put that into jeopardy. Cronkite News reporter Zach Moore talked to prospects in our community about the struggle.
Avery Dunn may seem like your typical high school athlete with dreams of playing in college, but because of the pandemic, Dunn, a senior at Deer Valley, is struggling to gain the interest of recruiters. Not because of her skill, but due to lack of visibility.
On recruiting, coaches aren't able to go to the tournaments, and tournaments are getting canceled. We were supposed to go to a tournament in Vegas next month, but it got pushed back a couple months, so we won't be able to be seen by coaches.
While many other students in Arizona have struggled to land scholarships, Arizona State men's basketball coach Bobby Hurley talks about how this is an issue occurring for colleges all across the country.
Well, it's been challenging, and again, everyone has to deal with the same situation and not being able to get out in gyms and evaluate, and that's been the case since the spring.
Although the opportunities have been few and far between, AIA Executive Director David Hines feels they made the best decision for the kids in bringing back winter sports.
We saw last spring when we were shut down that was devastating for the kids, and we specifically wanted to make sure we had some season for kids because we didn't want to see that happen again.
For Avery, she is like many other students where she is focusing on what she can control.
I get stressed a lot about colleges, especially because I have to do it all on my own. But I'm just think don't stress about something I can't control.
While the future may be uncertain and the recognition may be sparse, the majority of athletes here in Arizona are just thankful to be able to play once again. In Phoenix, Zach Moore, Cronkite News.
Finally, our hearts are heavy tonight. Sports journalists, athletes, and fans everywhere are mourning the loss of a legendary broadcaster and friend to the Cronkite school community. Pedro Gomez died yesterday at the age of 58. The ESPN reporter was a Valley resident and former Arizona Republic columnist. Many former and current athletes, reporters, and broadcasters took to Twitter to tell stories of Gomez and his huge heart and infectious personality. At the Cronkite School, Gomez always gave his time, visiting classes and offering career advice. We spoke to a few of those whose lives he touched.
I know I'm not the only one, but he meant a lot to me because he was such a good mentor to me. And what I think is great about that is that there are so many Cronkite students who have that same story, and it just goes to show how good of a guy he was.
The guy just oozed wisdom, and he talked about the game, and it demanded your attention, but it wasn't in a pretentious way. It was absolutely out of just passion and love for the game and genuine interest about what you thought about the game.
El trabajo que se presenta. Unfortunately, he's gone, and I was completely shocked. I couldn't believe it, to be completely honest with you. I had to check my sources to be sure that what I was watching wasn't any false news, and to confirm it also, and sadly, I did. I think where we will remember Pedro is his following of Barry Bonds when he was on the verge of breaking the home run record of Hank Aaron when he was on the San Francisco Giants. And it's a special one because he did it perfectly.
San Francisco y lo hizo de maravilla.
On behalf of everyone in the Cronkite Sports Bureau, we'd like to dedicate this Cronkite Sports Report to Pedro Gomez and his family. He will be missed. Back to you.
Thank you, Kelsey. Pedro Gomez will be dearly missed.
That's it for Cronkite News tonight. Thanks for joining us.
For top Arizona stories anytime, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.